My name is Chantelle Balsdon. I'm the lead editor from Hospitality Marketplace. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is a trade website for all things food service and hospitality. So we work very closely with the trade. And with me is JP, and he is an expert in AI chatbots. And today we're going to be speaking about something that we all know about, and it's AI. It's a very, very big hype at the moment. But one thing that we want to do today is we want to actually make it very beneficial to a day-to-day operational value chain in how it can help you guys. I don't really know what. Can we can we quickly see what do you guys do? What do you do, ma'am?
My name is Measurable from Botswana.
Yeah.
Manufacturing
Okay, so you're in production. Okay, amazing. And you, sir, what do you do?
Hi, the name is Bongani from TI Kitchen House, catering, weddings, funerals, all of that.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Is there anybody in hospitality management services or front of house or hotel services? Nothing? Okay, so we're speaking to a very specific audience, okay, which is amazing. So, again, let me just tell you what we're going to be talking about. AI we're going to go beyond ChatGPT. We're going to go beyond what can create a picture. We're going to take you how it can automate your lives. And that's what JP is going to do now. Okay, so over to you, JP. I would like us to start by going, AI is not a scary thing. And JP is going to help us dispel that myth. Oh, it's not on.
It's not on.
Oh, there you go.
Can everyone hear me? All right, I'm there. Well, thanks so much, Chantelle, for that intro. I think the important thing to remember is AI is there for you. These tools are built exactly as that, as a tool for you to use in your day-to-day lives. That being, whatever you do in your day-to-day life. I can imagine from your perspective, sort of using that initial ChatGPT, Claude, those sorts of products that it is beneficial to you, and that's what people are sort of experiencing at the moment. And what I wanna do is I wanna try and tell you that there is this big myth around AI, and to integrate AI into your business, you need to have this massive budget, and you need to have a team of developers, like literally a warehouse of developers, guys that are going to build out these products, train these AIs, but it's simply not true. With products like OpenAI, ChatGPT, those back-end services, you can now integrate them into your daily operations, which is fantastic. I mean, guys, this wasn't available to us a couple of years ago. So what I want to try and get across is AI is not scary. It's accessible, it's there for you, and what you'll probably find is you can already integrate it into most of your sort of workflows at the moment. Your booking systems, your sort of WhatsApp systems, your queries, for example. And the idea here is that AI is supposed to solve everyday problems. It's those really, really tough problems. And you know what's really interesting is that people, your users, your guests, are starting to explore and understand that AI is something that, or chatbots is something that they can actively engage with. Let me give you a quick stat on that. 62% of hotel guests prefer using chatbots for basic queries. Do you know what I mean? And you have to think about that. Why are people like that? And essentially it's because they're getting that information as soon as they possibly can. People don't like waiting for information, let's be completely honest. And I think let's put it into a practical example. Late night, you're going to be away from your PC, you're going to be asleep, and someone sends in a booking request or request some sort of information that you're only going to deal with at a later stage. And I think what's important there is giving these people the right information, right, without sort of sacrificing that one-on-one connection. And the importance here is AI is not going to replace people. The importance here is we're capturing missed opportunities.
Thanks, JP. I think that's a crucial takeaway, is that AI is there to support and to empower you to do your job better. Okay. I think can we take it to a practical scenario? Let's take your operations, for instance. You are producing and manufacturing, and you've got logistics that you need to take care of. So why don't you tell us how a chatbot could help with the logistics claim.
In a logistics chain company, you'd have to think about, well, what are the tasks that I do repetitively? Where is it that I can go and actively implement this agent, for example? You know, this let's call it for all intents and purposes, another staff member to constantly deal with these questions. And I think it definitely in sort of supply chain, that's without a doubt, it's got its merits. Obviously, you need to go and look, and you're the professional in that space. You need to go and tell me, you know, I've got this huge sort of problem that we could possibly solve with AI by implementing a workflow that, for example, you know, notifies people when they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to receive their package, for example, or something like inefficiencies in your delivery service. So why am I sending, for example, a truck to the same location twice a day? Why is that happening? By implementing an AI model on top of that, you're able to go and sort of say, well, where are the inefficiencies that I can deal with in that space? And I mean, that's very high level. Obviously, that's your industry. But I think, let me give you an example of one of the clients that we did an implementation for up here in Joburg. They got about 80% of their business through WhatsApp. And they had a very, very big problem, is that not everybody could take up their service. They had to be pre-qualified. Now they've got a whole team of consultants that would go and try and engage with these people and give them the right information. But a lot of those people were simply looking for a brochure, which, I mean, they could have found on the website, let's be honest. And they were also looking for, I mean, they have to be sort of pre-qualified. And the AI would do that. So what does that mean for the business? It means that they are able to go ahead and get these sort of leads or people, or the consultants that are able to deal with people that are actually willing to take up the service. So I think the takeaway here is that it's accessible, it's practical, and it starts with real problems.
You had a question, ma'am.
Yes, my question is around content creation. How would you, and what would you recommend for content creation? Because for my business, for your, say, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
Yeah.
is it coming?
Yeah, no. That's how I do it, yeah.
I would want to know how to integrate, what to use, because content creation is very repetitive.
And time consuming.
Yeah. So, you know, that's very cool. I mean, this is where I'm a marketer. This is what I do. I live in marketing and content creation on a day-to-day basis. So how it's helped me, and I'm going to give you me as an example, because I know that I was also just somebody who had a gazillion things coming at me, and I didn't have enough time to put it all into a systematic flow that I could still do my job and still do the job of 10 other people at the same time. Okay. So from a creative point of view, you know, you've got your tools, and I'm sure you all have heard of Canva, you've heard of ChatGPT, you've heard of Gemini, you've heard of all of these different names. Okay. I cannot tell you which one is going to suit you better. I can only tell you which I have found that suits me better. So I'm going to give you a real day in the life of Chantelle. Okay, so I'm an editor. I write a lot of content. I run 3 magazines. Okay, and I write most of the content. Okay, but I would not be able to do it and still not be as stressed out if I did not have AI in my life. But AI hasn't replaced my job. It's just made me more efficient. It's helped me create a lot more original content, because usually I would have to go and spend months trying to research a topic, right? Now, if I want to do an in-depth dive on hospitality industry, what do? I go to Gemini. I use Gemini for my deep research. I give it a beautiful prompt, and I work that prompt until I get all the information that I want. One of the biggest things I can tell you is that if you want to verify that content, you plug that content back into the same chatbot, and you ask them to verify it for you. Because if you don't have verification, then what? You're going to fall short, right? So you actually start having this full-on relationship with your computer, okay? Ask it questions, say good morning.
Get a little bit angry at it.
Yeah.
Why have you given me this?
That's the wrong answer.
This is not right. We're in South Africa. Why is it that word got a Z in it?
Okay. So, you know, you will find your flow. But from a creative point of view, there are so many amazing top tools that you can. For instance, if you take 3 photos of a product, and you can pop those 3 photos into Canva, and you can give it a quick sentence saying, turn this into a reel that I can post it on YouTube. And you must give it an idea of how you want this reel to look. So you'll find your flow, but it's all about the prompting. It's all about how you speak to your technology, okay? And within 5 seconds, you'll have a video. Okay. Gemini is my favorite go-to for creating beautiful imagery, guys. You will not believe I've run magazines from imagery that looks like it's professional photography. Okay, but it's not just a fly-by-night thing. You have to really work the prompt. And prompting, as we all know, prompting, and you know what a prompt is? It's what you type in, okay? Prompting is the most important thing. And you just keep on having a conversation with that prompt until you get to your sweet spot, okay? That doesn't happen overnight, but you keep using, test, play. There are so many things that you can use that are free. You don't have to pay for a thing.
Exactly.
Okay?
I think, what's really interesting about that is, speaking about free, recently there was a piece of software launched, also free, called OpenClaw. It's what they call Agentic AI. It's not just one piece of AI that goes ahead and does sort of one piece of work. It's full workflows. You can give it access to your computer. It's very new, maybe don't do it just yet, but you can give it access to your computer and tell it to go and do multiple things. Go create files, write code. I think from my perspective, it's very helpful when it comes to creating new pieces of software. You're like, well, a lot of the developers now don't even write code anymore. They go and prompt, exactly that. Prompt engineering is becoming a very, very big facet of your sort of day-to-day lives, exactly that. But I think when you start with the problem and where you want to integrate AI into, it is, where are the friction points within your business?
Yeah.
So, for example, unanswered emails, unanswered WhatsApps, unanswered Instagram comments. I mean, let's be honest, who has time for that? You've got a full day. You can't be on your phone.
Yeah.
You've got to sleep eventually, you know what I mean?
And that's where your bots come in.
Exactly. That's definitely where one of these friction points are. You've got to say, and for the same thing, answering 1,000 questions every day, the same questions. And I mean, for some industries, they get a real, like a lot of information or a lot of requests at a certain time of day. They've only got a certain amount of staff that can actually handle that. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. So especially using sort of AI models for that, definitely something that would work. And I mean, you have to ask yourself, are you answering all of those questions? And just a little bit of a stat there, 75% of hospitality inquiries are basic, repetitive, and automatable. So what that means is, if you are, in fact, doing all of the things that I mentioned, it's probably a good place to start with some AI. And in your space, I think a little bit of content creation in there, you've got a really nice system on your hands.
Yeah. I think also what's important to know is that AI can't break you. You know, there's this whole mistrust about AI. It's going to replace humans. No one can replace humans. There's always going to be a connection between technology and humans. It's about how you can integrate it into your life to enhance your life.
Exactly.
Okay?
That. It's a tool.
And I mean, the power, you know how much, for instance, I'm a marketer, I run media businesses, but yesterday I was a website developer because I created my own website with AI. And then the day before that, I was a creative director because I created a whole photojournalistic book with AI. So, you know, there are so many opportunities, but you've got to play and you've got to find the right tools for your business. One thing I can say, though, is that it can get very overwhelming. A technology stack that AI, I mean, you guys, you've seen it. You're getting thrown all these words on day to day. You don't know what's real, you don't know what's not. You're gonna have to find your own sweet spot, okay? Test, play, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I think do you mind if we open the floor for some specific questions? Do you guys have some? We're going to come back to a couple of other topics, but is there something specific that anybody wants us to maybe address?
We are a country that has like a high percentage of unemployment.
Yeah.
And then you get AI. How do you dispel that thing of fear amongst those that are even working on AI and taking the jobs?
That is one of the most asked questions that I get. It's a fantastic question, and it is very thought-provoking. And what you have to remember is, when it comes to AI and these fantastic tools that are available to you, it should not be a barrier for an individual, but rather an opportunity. For example, you could use something like Base 44 and go and create a mobile app and take it to market with a strategy that you got from ChatGPT or Claude. Rather than seeing these things as barriers and sort of getting completely, sad and stepping away and saying that, I'm not going anywhere, rather than doing that, go ahead and see it as an opportunity for you as an individual to rather become an entrepreneur. It is a very, very difficult sort of mindset to switch into, but if you can get that right, I mean, you could go to market with these ideas. I mean, everyone's got an app idea, let's be honest, that could work. And now you've got the tools available to you. And when it gets to the stage where you need something a little bit more robust, production ready, you have the foundation that's perfect. You go to a development house, you've got the budget now because you've got a fantastic app that works, and they'll, take you on and then help you with the foundation of that app. So, I mean, that's just one, but it is a very, very scary thought when it comes to sort of your job being taken. But it is more come from a perspective of let there be opportunity. And I mean, we're South Africans, we're really resilient when it comes to these sorts of things. So, that's definitely how I would handle that.
I think also from that perspective, one thing that I love, I'm a long time learner, I'm a geek, I love technology, okay? We are geeks, we are. But one thing that I have found, when I'm working with a lot of my CSI projects, and specifically for people that are fearful because they think, now everything can be done by AI. What I tell those students and those learners is I always say to them, rather than do that, rather tell me what you want to become. And I will tell, and so the one guy said, I want to become a doctor, but I know I'll never be able to. I said, don't say that. And I took him, put him in front of my computer, and I said, right, I'm going to show you something spectacular now. And I used Gemini and ChatGPT, and I said, what will it take for somebody who hasn't got a matric to become a doctor? Within 5 minutes, I had a whole learning program, resources where you could learn how you could up his skills, you name it, all within 5 minutes, because it's making things so accessible. It doesn't have to be
He has access to that knowledge.
Accessibility, exactly. And okay, maybe the doctor is a little bit too highfalutin, okay. But what I'm saying is learning through AI. I have learned things that I didn't even think I would be able to do. And I'm 49 years old. Okay, so I'm a long-time learner, and AI has enabled me to learn more, so much more. And I think people need to, especially in the areas where, unemployment is a big thing that we need to. I know that the hustle is real. Okay, the hustle is real, but AI can make it even better. Speak to people, speak to your community. There's always somebody in your community who knows how to use AI. Get together, have groups, have talks. I mean, WhatsApp groups, we all know how quickly we all took to WhatsApp groups. Think of it as the same thing, okay? And that's
100%. Well, I think let me give you an example of a WhatsApp assistant. Someone goes ahead and wants to make a booking for let's say, a hotel, for example, at 12 o'clock at night. With a WhatsApp integration, the person is responded to immediately. They have the AI then asks them for the dates that they would like to go ahead. I mean, guys, all of this on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp checks the availability for that person. If the room, for example, is not available, what the AI might do is then provide them with other dates that they could possibly go, send them the booking link, and then capture that guest details. So what does that mean? What is the value there for the hotel, for example, or the business? It means whilst they're asleep or busy or doing other things, they're actively acquiring business. And what we've done is the impact of that is we have taken a conversation with a potential client from a couple of hours, when you'd wake up and deal with that query, to a couple of seconds. What would be the difference between you answering that or an AI answering it? Because you set those AI instances up, with your sort of training knowledge, with the information for your business, it is very, very easy for it to respond naturally to your questions. We got a question, yes. Most of the models have free sort of access, which is so usually if you're talking about a free model, you'll talk about ChatGPT. What's nice about that is it does expire after every. So for example, it gives you a certain amount of tokens for their highest level of, let's say, a model or their highest model. Obviously, the more advanced the model is, the more you're going to pay for it. But what it does do is it gives you sort of access to it for the day. So those really, really important tasks you can get done until sort of your tokens are finished, and you can go ahead and then just wait for it again tomorrow. Alternatively, I mean, the cost on that, I think it's about $20 a month for.
Lower now.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be very honest with you. If you're a business owner, you need to commit, okay? And committing, ChatGPT has got a much smaller membership now. It's 129 Rand. It's called ChatGPT Go, whereas before it was a lot more expensive. So start there, because that's not a really big cost, okay? Okay, yeah. So, but I mean, if you want to use it as a tool for business growth, then it has to become a cost center for your business as well. So rather think about how I'm going to use it as a business growth tool.
I think the value that you get out of that subscription far outweighs
totally
the actual subscription.
Totally. I also want to just quickly, I know that there's been quite a lot of like tricks, like I'm sure you want to know what some tricks are, okay? I can see there's some tricks that, sorry, so I'm almost done, okay, and then okay. So, you know, like, I don't know if you guys know, but you can, if you're in a library, or if you see a magazine and you want to take a photo of something because you want to use that copy, take a photo, put it into ChatGPT, and you ask it to give me all the writing on that picture, and it will take it out for you, and it will put it into a Word document.
Data extrapolation, visual data extrapolation.
If you're on a health mission, okay, and you are busy counting the calories on your food, as an example, do you know you can take a picture of what you're eating? You can put it into ChatGPT or Gemini, and you can say, how many calories in this plate of food? Okay. Now this is everyday use. Okay. Now this is just how to change certain things. That's just in my life. Okay. Health, wealth, business, everything. AI is here to stay, guys.
Good day. My question is, I would like to know on how accurate are they, these apps, because I sometimes love to play around them. Like for instance, I will take ChatGPT, I will open ChatGPT and I'll open Meta, and then I would ask Meta, I'm just from the gym and I'm drinking Hennessy. How would it affect me? And then Meta will say, oh, that's great, just drink just one glass. And then I'll go to ChatGPT, I'm from the gym and I just drank Hennessy. It will say, you don't have to drink Hennessy when you're from the gym. You have to be hydrated. So stop it and drink water to be hydrated. So I wanted to know what is the distinction between those two apps.
Well, I think
how accurate are they?
There's always margin of error. It's actually called hallucinations. So when an AI tends to give you these weird sort of answers, it's an hallucination. In the actual setting, you've got something called temperature. How accurate should it stick to the source data as to sort of additional information that it might find? And what you want to do is you want to set it to the lowest, which is going to give you the sort of base knowledge. Now you have to remember that ChatGPT, all of these models are mostly trained on Wikipedia. I mean, that's where their training model, their training data comes from, well, at least initially. So it's not going to be 100% accurate. And then also depending on how you prompt it. Something that you should possibly try is when you do go and prompt your AIs, you should tell it to give you the honest truth. Don't hold back. Give me the honest truth. And then it sort of takes the training wheels off a little bit, and it really gives you what you need. So it's probably going to be like, not the best idea to do that. It's it's going to damage you. So yeah, it's definitely the way that you prompt it, but also don't take it by its word. It is fairly new technology. I mean, OpenAI has only been around. Well, not the company, but the ChatGPT has only been around for the last couple of years. Cool.
Anything? Oh, there you go. I think also one thing that I can show you as something that you can test and play with is that there are different versions of your of your different technologies. There's a fast answer, there's a deep research answer, there's a thinking answer, and those are the different levels. So if you just want a fast answer, you're going to just get a very high level fast answer. But if you want something deeper, you got to tell it to go deeper. Okay, just like when you're having a conversation with a human being. It's the same thing. Guys, we've got 1 more minute.
Yeah, let me just give you a quick case study. You're going to love this. A mid-sized hotel chain implemented AI models across a couple of its properties. In the first 6 months, it saw 70% of queries handled automatically, response time to sub 30 seconds, and an 18% increase in direct bookings. And you have to think, why? Why is that? Why are these things sort of, where are those stats coming from? And I think if you think about it, people are so used to getting the information that they need immediately. They don't want to wait for an email. They don't want to wait for sort of a call back at a later stage. It's, I'm used to this information, give it to me right now. And I think it very much plays in, if you're looking for clients, if you're looking to sort of boost your sales, then you need to integrate with these technologies, because it is going to assist you. It is going to make your life a lot easier. And at the end of the day, it's going to make your business more profitable. Cool.
That's it, guys. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody.